snake or a wasp or a scorpion or any such insect, because it's criminal, it's unholy to kill life. So I am Rahmat. So I asked him if he spared a snake and that snake killed a man, for whom would he be Rahmat then? Higher values are higher values. They are not sacrificed for the sake of lower values. So a potent danger will always remain a potent danger. So to remove a potent danger for the sake of a higher value is not a negation of your being Rahmat. It is a proof of your being Rahmat. And wisely so. Rahmat could be conceived in a very stupid manner and in a wise manner as well. So Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is Rahmat in a wise manner. Not like a sentimental nincompoop who can't take a firm action against anybody. That is no Rahmat at all. That is incapability. So you should behave like he did. He sometimes punished others. In wars he killed. That is to say, he at least once through his the injury caused by his lance, a person got killed. But he was there to fight them out. And his companions did. So that Rahmat conceives of all these various situations and the various demands of various situations. And yet he remained Rahmat, because had he not permitted his followers to kill in defense, then the entire universe would have suffered. Cruelty would have been on the rampant, and the people would not be given any shelter against the cruel and the oppressor. So this is why in Jihad, the philosophy is told by the Holy Quran as وَلَوْلَا دَفْعُ اللَّهِ النَّاسَ بَعْضَهُمْ بِبَعْضٍ لَهُدِّمَتْ صَوَامِعُ وَبِيعٌ وَصَلَوَاتٌ وَمَسَاجِدُ يُذْكَرُ فِيهَا اسْمُ اللَّهِ كَثِيرًا. So you understand things in their true perspectives, then there is no ambiguity left at all. So a question or azan? Now you can ask your remaining questions. You don't have to come tomorrow unless you wish anyway to come.
This is for the interest of only a select group. This question pertains to probably a select group, basically the physicians, per se. Sometimes we are confronted with a situation where we have to deal with a problem which goes against, especially living in the United States, I would say, against our values. And it becomes very hard at that time to keep your feelings separate from your performance. Would you suggest what one should do or how to deal with it? Okay. For instance, we come across patients who are homosexuals, male homosexuals. And at that point, do I or should I engage in telling them that this probably is not the right practice? I do have the opportunity. I'm seeing them.
What stands in your way of telling them that it is wrong for them, it is ultimately wrong for the whole society and things? I mean, what prevents you from doing that?
The repercussions of that, in the sense that we are taught that your personal feeling, because in that liberal society, that is not looked upon by a lot of people.
Personal feeling, you may abstain, but you have yourself established that it is not a personal feeling. You are convinced that a thing is bad for your patient, and there you have your duties as a physician. And those duties should be discharged whether the patient likes your opinion or not. For instance, here in this society, people, the doctors, professionals, tell a patient that you are suffering from that incurable disease, if he does, without any regard to his the fear or that is created by that information, or hopelessness that is caused by such an information. In our country, the doctors abstain from saying that. They keep them living on hope. But here it is supposed to be a matter of principle. If you know the truth, as a physician or as a surgeon, it is understood that it is your duty, moral obligation, to tell the truth to your patient. If anything is injurious to him, that also is told to him. So that falls under that category. But if a patient comes to you in a different capacity altogether, and it has nothing to do with his personal violence, and you are not directly concerned with that situation, then you have no business. Only you have to preach against such evils in the society generally speaking, but not as a doctor, as a human being, as Mr. Salim perhaps. You're Salim, aren't you? Some Salim. Mahmood? No. Khalil Mahmood.
Yeah, Salim is my father.
Salim is your father, but you're not called Salim as well?
Well,
Khalil Mahmood.
That's
right. So.
One other in the same vein is sometimes we are dealing with an old patient.
Your apologies to you.
Good. No, it's okay.
Is old or dying or has some problems with that, and they at that point want to be left alone, could be let to die, and we are sort of responsible for saving their lives. How aggressive can we be without compromising our conscience and their conscience?
No, you are not responsible for saving people's lives without their consent. So you are not a law enforcing agency. You are simply there to help people who seek your help to be saved from some calamity, some danger, some illness and things. So if the patient wants to be left alone, and his relatives also don't want you to interfere further, you should leave them alone. It's not your responsibility.
We should respect their
Of course, they are the proprietor of their own values and their lives and everything. And if somebody says, no, we want to return to home and we want our patient to die in peace, let them decide. You're not answerable for that. And again, how can you enforce them, and how can you guarantee that by taking the measures you have in mind, the life will definitely be saved? You cannot be sure. You can only add to hurt. And this tendency of the physicians and the surgeons is growing, unfortunately, that many times they know that a patient cannot be helped, yet they continue to make his life miserable by prolonging it through artificial props. And that propping up of life and giving it more elongated suffering, that is no way of helping humanity. So at times you should leave it to fate, to God, and give the palliatives only, and tell them the situation is not within our control, so you pray, and I'll try to see that as long as you live in peace. But to prolong the trial and all the ordeal of the patient, and also to make him the poorer for that, and to make things miserable for his descendants as well, for his inheritors as well. That is not, moral in any way.
There was a big controversy, and it has been sort of, as you pointed out, going on, especially a few cases that occurred, and baby Doe's case that dragged on for 2-3 years now. Millions of dollars have been spent, and just wanted to get